Hi, my name's Eddie Hearn for Boxing Social and Sporth, and this is my 10 of the best. That's a great question. Forget Ryder Cups, forget Wimbledon, right? I'm paying to see that. Job done. Piers is a bigger lad.
Roll up, it's 10 of the best.
I was going to say Rod Hull. Remember Rod and Emu? Best boxing venue. MSG, Vegas, MGM, O2, Madison Square Garden. I had a nightmare in my life there for Joshua Rees, but still my favourite venue. Best entertainer of all time. In boxing. I was going to say Rod Hull. Remember Rod and Emu? But best entertainer of all time. I think we have to go with Naz. Look, Ali was. I didn't unfortunately get to watch Ali live, but I think Naz was one of a kind. Best British fighter of all time. It's hard to go against Joe Calzaghe, I think. Undefeated as well. So I'll go for Joe. The best post-fight feeling. That's a great question. I would say it was in Saudi Arabia when AJ beat Andy Ruiz. Unfortunately, couldn't celebrate in the way that I would have liked to have celebrated, but just the feeling of pure relief after all the pain of the months before at Madison Square Garden. Best fighter I've never worked with. That's a good question. Well, if you look at the pound for pound list, you'd probably have to say, Saul Canelo Alvarez is number one, work with him. Alexander Usyk is number two, not work with him. Probably Terence Crawford, number three. But actually, I have worked with him because we had him fight Ricky Burns down at lightweight when he beat him for his first world championship. And then you probably go to Errol Spence. And I've worked with Errol Spence as well against Kell Brook. Tyson Fury, maybe. If you keep going down that pound for pound list, Vasily Lomachenko, work with him. So maybe Tyson Fury, but that's to come. Best promoter apart from me, I didn't know there was any others, to be honest with you. Who is a good promoter? Bob Arum is Top Rank are a great company. Bob Arum, he's 90. Right, so you have to give him unbelievable props. But the best promoter, not in terms of his business ethics, in my opinion, is Don King. Whenever there was a show in town, Don King made sure everybody knew there was a show in town. He was the ultimate showman. So, didn't agree with a lot of things that he did, but in terms of pure promotion, he was a special talent. Best fight I've ever watched live would be Michael Brody against Injin Chi for the WBC featherweight world title in Manchester at the GMEX. I was probably 13 or 14. Best fight I've seen as a promoter would be Joshua Klitschko or Estrada Chocolatito 2, which we had this year in Texas. The best event I've ever promoted, there's three that would stand out. One is Joshua Klitschko at Wembley in front of 90,000. Actually, it's four that stands out. One is Joshua Usyk, actually, because coming through the pandemic at Spurs, incredible stadium. The other one was the Joshua Rees fight, MSG, because it was a night no one will ever forget, and Taylor Pursoon was on that as well. And the other one was breaking the world record, or the American record for the biggest ever boxing attendance for Canelo against Billy Joe Saunders. But I think Joshua against Klitschko is the one where people come up to me and say, that was the single greatest sporting event I've ever been to. Forget Ryder Cups, forget Wimbledon, forget Formula One Grand Prix. That was the best experience. So I go with that one. To be honest with you, I've done so many. So. Best advice I've ever received. I'm not sure I've received it, but I preach it. So I must have been told it at some stage, or I figured it out for myself, which is don't focus on medium and long-term goals. Worry about short-term goals and short-term problems, because otherwise the longer-term plan becomes irrelevant. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't overthink things. Keep things simple and write down everything. They take the mickey out of me in the office because I've got a pad, right? Who has a pad? I have a pad. And every day I wake up and I write down things that I have to do today. This is great for your mental health because you can actually feel like you've actually achieved something. It can be simple things, menial things. Take the dog for a walk, pop to Tesco's, fill up the car with petrol, go to the gym. Or it can be something more substantial and work-related. Write them down, tick them off, job done. Two fighters who have never boxed before. What about, those people who address the nation, on the COVID situation. So who's that geezer? Chris Whitty. He'd definitely be terrible, wouldn't he? Chris Whitty, I quite like to see Piers Morgan get in there as well. No, this is the one. Piers Morgan against Matt Hancock. Right? I'm paying to see that. I don't think they'd make the final, the bell at the end of the first round, to be honest with you. But Piers is a bigger lad. I'll go with Morgan. My name's Eddie Hearn. Thank you for watching my 10 of the best with Boxing Social and Sport.
Roll up, it's 10 of the best.